These are the assembly instructions for my box with reinforced sides. So I'm starting with the pieces that are for the bottom of my box, and you can tell the difference because they are much taller than the pieces that are for the lid. I have 4 panels that are for the 4 sides of my box, and for all of them I'm just folding down on the score lines. There are 3 of them. One for the flap at the top, one for the tab at the side, and one for the tab at the bottom. And I'm just folding and burnishing all score lines for all 4 pieces. Next, I'm putting glue on one of the side tabs. With that taller flap still at the top, I'm gluing the cut edge of one of my other panels to the score line on my tab. And I want the score line at the top and the bottom to be even. Now I'm putting glue on the tab that's on the piece I've just glued in, gluing in my 3rd panel, and I'm doing that again with the 4th panel. And then I'm flipping my piece over and I'm folding my 1st panel over, putting glue on the tab that's on the side of it. And then I'm bringing my other end over and just gluing the cut edge of that piece right to the score line on my tab. And again, I want the top and the bottom score lines to be nice and even. So this is my box, but I have these 4 flaps at the top, and this is to reinforce the walls of my box. I'm folding it out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm putting glue all over that flap that's at the top of my piece, and I'm folding it over, and I'm using my bone folder to spread that glue. So not only does this reinforce the side, make it a little bit sturdier, but it also hides the tabs. And I'm doing that with all 4 flaps. Now I have these tabs at the bottom, and I am folding them towards the center of my piece, and I'm putting glue on all 4 of them. And then I'm taking one of the square pieces and I'm just lowering it into my box and making sure that my walls are following the shape of that square. I'm just pulling the sides in a little bit and then just gluing them down. I'm just using my bone folder and I'm just spreading that glue. And then I'm going to flip my piece over and I'm going to put glue on the underside of my other square piece. And if you wanted to reinforce the box even further, you could cut another square like this out of a thicker material, such as chipboard or craft board, and layer it in between these 2 squares. I'm just fitting it on the bottom of my box. I'm just making sure that those sides are nice and even on all 4 sides. And then I'm flipping my piece over and going in with my bone folder just to spread that glue. So for my lid piece, it goes together the same way. You're going to fold down on all 3 score lines for the 4 side panels. Now my paper has direction to it, so it's got these striped lines. I want my 1st panel to have the horizontal lines, my 2nd panel to have the vertical lines, and just alternating the pattern like so. If your paper is not directional, then this doesn't matter. So I'm putting glue on the side tabs and gluing all 4 pieces together like I did for the bottom. Flipping my piece over, putting glue on the final side tab and folding the end piece over so that the cut edge is right on the score line of that side tab. Score lines are even at the top and at the bottom. And then just like for the bottom, I have the flaps that are going to be folded in order to reinforce the sides of my lid. So I'm just going to glue all 4 of them down. And then I have my tabs folded inward so that they're all towards the center of my box. I'm putting glue on all 4 of those tabs. I'm double checking that I have my pattern in the right orientation. My pinstripe is going downwards on the lid as well. Making sure that those tabs are following the sides of my square. And then I'm going in with my bone folder and spreading that glue. I'm just putting glue on the underside of my final square and gluing it to my lid piece. I'm just gluing my square to the top of my box. I'm going in with my bone folder from the underside and spreading that glue. I'm not crazy about the way the edges look when the pattern paper kind of cracked a little bit. I have all these thin strips of gold foiled cardstock, and they have score lines running down the center, and I'm just folding down on those score lines. So for my long strip, I have my piece in a V shape. I'm just putting glue all over the underside. So I want the point of my piece to be right on the corner of my box. So it should go from corner to corner. And I want my score line to be right on the fold of my box. And I'm just going in and spreading my glue. So I'm going to do that with all 4 strips, applying them to all 4 sides. And then I have the smaller pieces. I'm putting glue all over the underside of them, and I have the pointed edge facing towards the top of my lid. I'm just gluing them to the corner of my lid, like so. And there's my lid.